Welcome back to our channel, dear friends. It is a beautiful day, and we are just so thrilled to sit down and share some time with you. Grab your favorite cup of tea, make yourself comfortable in your coziest chair, and let us dive into the latest stories together. We always love this special time of day when we can connect with all of you wonderful folks. Oh my heavens, let me tell you, I am just bubbling over with excitement and a little bit of anxiety today. If you have been following the goings-on in Port Charles as closely as I have, you know that we are right in the middle of an absolute storm, and our dear Jason is standing right in the eye of it. This upcoming episode featuring Jason is an absolute must-watch, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart. I have been sitting here just wringing my hands, thinking about all the twists and turns we are about to witness. Watching this show for all these years feels like keeping up with our own extended family, and right now, my heart is just aching for everyone involved. The sheer amount of drama and heartache unfolding is enough to make anyone need to sit down and catch their breath. Let us get right down to the brass tacks of the matter, which is the shocking truth about who actually shot Cullum. Lord have mercy. That secret has been weighing on the entire town like a thick, heavy summer fog, and now that the sun has finally burned it away, the truth is laid bare for everyone to see. We all know that in a place like Port Charles, a secret is just a ticking time bomb waiting to go off, and this one has finally exploded right in Jason's lap. He is now forced to face the music, and let me tell you, it is a very harsh tune to listen to. I always say that the truth has a funny way of bubbling up to the surface, no matter how hard you try to push it down, and Jason is learning that lesson the hard way right now. The most heartbreaking part of this whole ordeal is the reason why Jason lied in the first place. Bless his heart, he truly thought he was doing the right thing by trying to protect sweet little Rocco. It is that classic Jason instinct, isn't it? He always tries to take the weight of the entire world on his own broad shoulders, thinking he can shield the innocent from the ugly realities of life. But sometimes when you try to build a wall to protect someone, you end up trapping them inside with the very danger you wanted to keep out. He had the best of intentions, he really did. But as my grandmother used to say, the road to ruin is often paved with good intentions. Now, let us talk about Dante and Lulu, because my heart just bleeds for those two parents. Any mother or grandmother out there knows exactly what it feels like when your child is threatened. It is a primal feeling, a fire that ignites deep inside your soul that absolutely nothing can extinguish. Lulu is showing us that fierce, undeniable mama bear spirit, and goodness gracious, you absolutely cannot blame her for being so fiercely upset. She is looking at Jason, a man she has known and trusted for so long, and she is realizing that his well-intentioned lies actually pushed her precious boy closer to the edge of real harm. It just breaks my heart into a million pieces to see their family going through such a terrifying ordeal. And Dante, well, he is caught right between a rock and a hard place. He has his badge, his strong sense of duty, and his overwhelming, deeply ingrained instinct to protect his family at all costs. Seeing Dante question Jason, demanding answers for how things went so terribly wrong, is just gut-wrenching. Dante is trying to make sense of how someone they considered a protector could inadvertently turn into the very reason Rocco was placed in jeopardy. You can just feel the tension radiating from him, the absolute frustration of a father who feels like his child's safety was gambled away on a lie. It is a terrible burden for any father to carry, and seeing him struggle with this betrayal is incredibly moving. This brings us to the giant elephant in the room, which is the time Jason spent away from Port Charles after he was unceremoniously kicked out. He cannot just waltz back into town, tip his hat, and expect everything to be peachy keen. He has a whole lot of explaining to do about what exactly happened during those dark days. I find myself just so deeply moved by the heavy burden Jason is carrying right now. Being cast out from your home, from the people you love, and the streets you know takes a terrible toll on a person's soul. We are finally going to see him have to open up and explain the harsh realities of what he endured when he was pushed away from everything he held dear. His return journey was supposed to be a homecoming, a chance to mend fences and start fresh, but instead it has turned into a massive problem. Instead of a warm welcome and open arms, he has walked straight into a hornet's nest of his own making. The mess he created is just piling up higher and higher, like laundry on a Sunday afternoon, and Jason is going to have to roll up his sleeves and get to work if he wants to fix it. He is facing new conditions, new rules of engagement in a town that has moved on and changed while he was away. It is not just about apologizing. It is about proving that he can navigate this complicated new world without causing even more destruction. What really gives me the shivers, though, is the new danger that is creeping into the picture. This is not just about hurt feelings, broken trust, and family squabbles anymore. This is about real, palpable danger that is threatening to swallow them all whole. There is this new obsession taking root, a dark cloud hanging over his return that is making everything so much more terrifying. When people become obsessed, they stop thinking clearly and they start making desperate, dangerous moves. Jason is finding himself tangled in a web of new troubles, and every time he tries to pull himself free, the threads just wrap tighter around him. I just cannot help but worry for him, just like I would worry for my own kin. Jason is facing a situation where his past mistakes are colliding with present dangers, creating a perfect storm that could sweep away everything he is trying to rebuild. The fact that Dante and Lulu are so heavily involved makes the stakes even higher. If Jason makes one wrong move now, if he fails to handle these new complications with the utmost care, he could lose their forgiveness forever. And more importantly, he could put Rocco right back into the line of fire, which is a thought that just makes my blood run cold. It is a hard road to hoe, trying to fix a mistake that has already caused so much pain. Jason has always been a man of action, someone who fixes things with his hands and his bravery, but this time he needs to fix things with honesty and vulnerability. He has to look Dante and Lulu in the eye and own up to the fact that his judgment was clouded. He has to admit that his way of doing things, lying to keep people safe, is broken and needs to change. For a man who has lived his whole life behind a shield of stoicism, opening up and admitting fault might just be the hardest battle he has ever had to fight. As I sit here thinking about all these intertwined lives, I am just struck by how beautifully and tragically human they all are. We all make mistakes. Goodness knows I have made my fair share. But it is how we handle the fallout that defines our character. Jason is at a crossroads right now. He can either let these new obsessions and dangers consume him, or he can rise above them, face the music, and do whatever it takes to make things right for Rocco, for Dante, and for Lulu. The journey back to grace is never easy, and it is usually paved with a lot of tears and hard truths, but it is the only path worth taking. I am just on the edge of my seat waiting to see how he navigates this treacherous path. The danger he is in is immense, and the emotional toll on everyone around him is staggering. I know I will be watching with a box of tissues right next to me, praying that these beloved characters can find their way out of the dark woods. It is going to take a whole lot of love, a tremendous amount of patience, and a miracle or two to heal these deep wounds. But if there is one thing I know about poor Charles, it is that family always finds a way to endure, even when the night seems at its darkest. So let us keep our fingers crossed and our hearts open as we watch Jason face the biggest challenge of his life.